All right, sorry for the false start there. We're into week 2 of our coordinate geometry unit talking about transformations. The one that we're going to focus on today is translations. You've probably studied these before, translations. They're also sometimes called, I don't know what's happened there, sometimes called slides, and that's why the picture is there. So basically what we're doing is we're going to just take a shape and slide it one way or the other, or possibly both, and see what happens as we go. Okay? So, as we do that, we just take a shape and let's mark down its coordinates at this point. Its coordinates appear to be -3, 1 for this one, which we'll call A, and this one appears to be at -1, 1, which we'll call B, and up here at C, -2, 4. Seem okay? All right, so we're going to just take this and we're just going to slide it. Let's move it to the right, I don't know, 5 spaces, we'll say. Okay, so moving this guy to the right, there he is. All right, so let's see, 1 space, 2 space, 3 spaces, 4 spaces, 5 spaces. Okay, and that's its new home. And when we've transformed a figure, what we tend to do is we tend to put a little mark afterwards. It's called primed, and so we'll refer to this as A primed, B primed, C primed. And so the new coordinates, after I've moved it, let's see, what did we do? We moved 5 to the right. The new coordinates are, let's see, I would go with 2, 1. I would probably call this 4, 1, and 3, 4. Okay. What you may notice, hopefully, is that the y-coordinates stayed exactly the same when we moved it to the right. Okay. And typically what we're doing is we're moving the shape horizontally. We're moving it in this direction. My y-coordinates stayed the exact same because I didn't make any up or down movement. I just moved left, right, horizontally. My x-coordinate changed. How much did it change by? Well, how far from 3 to 2? +5. How far from -1 to 4? +5. How far from 2 to 3? +5. Okay? Let's see if we can hold on to that pattern. We'll move to the next, as we move to the next thing. There it is. Okay? So last time we moved it horizontally. This time, we'll move it vertically. Vertically means up and down. Okay? And we don't have much place to move it up, so we will move this thing down 3 units. Okay? So let's get ready to move it down 3 units. Okay, so if I can get my timing right on this. Hold of the right shape. Hold of the right shape. There we go. Okay, now I've got it. And let's slowly move it down 3. All right, my timing is awful. There's down 1, down 2, down 3. Okay, so original coordinates, which I didn't rewrite again, but were -3, 1, -1, 1, and -2, 4. Okay, that was on A, C, B, just to not confuse anybody. So this becomes A primed, B primed, primed, C primed. It's awful today. So as we work our way through that, A primed, B primed, C primed, okay, my x coordinates are the same, -3. My y coordinate for this one is down -2. My x coordinate is the same, -1. My y coordinate is down 1, 2, 3 at -2. And my point C primed, my x coordinate is the same, -2. My y coordinate is down 3, which is at 1. Okay, so again, the pattern is my x stayed the same, the y dropped by 3. So we just, in all of these coordinates, we subtracted 3 from the y coordinate. Okay? All right, so let's go for the big money this time. Let's try to do a horizontal and vertical translation. So we're going to move it, I don't know, let's move it to the right 6, and down 4. Okay? So we'll try to do this in some sort of a motion that's good. Try to do it fast. Try to make it all nice and wonderful. Here we go. So which way you want to go first? Doesn't really matter. Let's go to the right first. So the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Those are my new coordinates. I must. I really want that to be B, but it's C. I must put these coordinates in just so we have that pattern. I'm sure by now you've already figured out the pattern, but stick with us because the big money payoff is coming towards the end here, where we'll find out the secrets of all there is to offer. So stay with us. It's only another few minutes. -2, 4. Okay, and so we moved it to the right 6. So let's just see if we can get our new points: new A primed, C primed, B primed. So this guy now is at 1, 2, 3, comma, -3. This guy is at 5, -3. And this guy is at 4, comma, 0. Okay? So if you look, what do we do to the x-coordinate? We added 6 to all of them. True? 2 plus 6 is 4. -3 plus 6 is 3. -1 plus 6 is 5. Okay? So we add 6. And with the y-coordinates, we subtracted 4. 4 minus 4, 0. 1 minus 4, -3. 1 minus 4, -3. Okay? So, that's the basic thing when we do a translation. Okay? So, generally speaking, if we have some coordinate point, x, y, and we move it h units horizontally, which is left or right, and v units vertically, which is up or down, my new coordinates are going to be x plus h, y plus v. Simple enough. I'm excited about that. I'm feeling the need for a sound effect or something that will help them through the time here. I don't know. Let's see what that does for us. All right, that's excitement. It's not scaredness. So just to give you a practical what we're talking about here, if I translate the unit 5 unit horizontally and -3 vertically, my new point's going to become x plus 5, y minus 3, because we're subtracting 3. So that means if I start at, I don't know, 5, comma 11, my new point will be 5 plus 5. Oops. Do that last little crazy thing. 5 plus 5, comma 11 minus 3. And of course, we all know that 5 plus 5 is 10, and 11 minus 3 is 8. So, my new point, after I've done the translation with a slide, is 10, comma 8. If I was at 511, I'm now at 10, 8. Okay? There you go. Very exciting. So the thing with the transformations that we need to bear in mind is what happened to the shape when we did all this movement. Okay, so we want to look at, did the shape really change? What changed about the shape? What stayed the same about the shape as we did the translation? So that's kind of the piece with the translation. So the only thing that really changed were its coordinates. They were not the same. That's what we've spent the last 7 minutes talking about, is that the coordinates did not change. Okay, the slopes of my sides, they all stayed the same. Okay, the lengths of my sides all stayed the same. Okay, the angles between the sides all stayed the same. We didn't have any right angles, but if we did, they'd still be right angles. We're just moving the shape. So we always look at, when we're looking at transformation, what happens to the slopes, what happens to the lengths of the sides, what happens to the angles between the sides. The things that aren't perpendicular remain perpendicular. Okay, and of course, in animation, if we do a translation, if I take, SpongeBob and I move him over here, I still want him to look the same, just exactly like that. I don't want his side lengths to get smaller or longer, or the angles to change. I want him to look exactly as we do as we move from the left side of the stage to the right side, or as he moves up or down, or anything like that. Okay, so that is it. That's translations in a nutshell. Slides, just looking at what happens to the coordinates, how it impacts our shapes. So be thinking about that as you're working on your project. what's a translation look like? You know, in animation, you're just moving the shape. If we're doing music, then you're translating, you know, you're moving the notes up, moving every note up a note or up 2 notes or something like that. Or I don't know how you'd shift it the other way, but something along those lines. Okay? So, with that, I will tell you that you've been a lovely audience, and we'll end with a sound effect. Here it is. That was weak. How about this one? Oh, you really like that one. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something.